Hey guys. So every time I go live, I keep getting asked ceiling fan related questions. And I had some ceiling fan related content to record tonight. So I figured rather than just, sit here in front of my webcam and record, I would go live. If anybody is watching that is interested in ceiling fans, then they can ask questions in real time. Otherwise, I'll just use the footage the same way I would recording privately on my computer. So if you've been following my YouTube channel, you know that I review smart ceiling fan controls that work with Alexa. And my criteria are that they don't require a hub. Preferably they use the Smart Life app, and preferably under $50. And I believe I've covered all of the controls that have come to Amazon that fit those criteria. So the one we're going to talk about today is Amazon says it's called TRIFECTÉ, but then when you actually get the control, or even if you look at the pictures of the control on the Amazon website, it says the brand is Carro. It's $49. It's 3-speed, light control, but no dimmer, and it mounts in a single gang wall box. I will throw the screenshot here up on the screen so that you can see. And so let's see here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So I have reviewed several controls, as I stated. Most of the wall controls are 3-speed, some are 4-speed. Some are capacitor based, some are variable speed, and some appear to have resistors. This one is 3 speeds and capacitor based. The capacitor values are 5 microfarads. So low speed is 5 microfarads and medium is 10, the 2 5s added. And high speed, of course, is direct. I will show you some footage later on of me testing it. My issue testing it, I got to get used to doing it this way, because I think this is a really good idea, but I'm not used to talking about it live. So I can edit before I put the actual video up. So okay, so here's the thing. So if you've seen the controls that I've reviewed that have the glass face, those have 3 speeds and resistors, and I've taken the resistors out and soldered in whatever capacitor values I pleased, and they worked until the Smart Life app decided it no longer wanted to support those. I've reviewed the Treat Life wall control, which was 4 speeds and a light dimmer, and other than that, I got a few duds, worked pretty well. But my 2 issues with that is that the capacitors, you can't, no matter how far you take it apart, unless you're prepared to do just gobs of unsoldering, you can't change the capacitor values, which means if the factory capacitor values don't work with your fan motor, the speeds won't reflect well. However, the values that are on there are probably reflective of most modern fan motors that are not DC. See, this is where I was. If I was recording it on my computer, I'd probably just start it over. Let's you know what? Let's do that. I'm going to pretend I'm starting it over because I honestly don't remember how I started. So let's take the screen, go back to just me. Hey guys, so today I want to talk to you about the TRIFECTÉ Smart Ceiling Fan Control Switch. The Amazon page for it says the brand is TRIFECTÉ, but if you look at the picture of it, it says the brand is Carro. Let's throw the Amazon page up there. So it's a 3-speed wall control, mounts in a single gang wall box, and it has a light function, but no light dimmer. Honestly, when I got it, I thought it had the light dimmer capacity because most other wall switches in this price point have that now. So if you've been following my videos, you know that I review smart ceiling fan controls, both remote receivers that would go in the fan canopy and wall controls. And my criteria is that it has to not use a hub, $50 or less, and work with the Smart Life app. I've tested a few that didn't work with the Smart Life app, but I really do prefer to keep everything in that app rather than have to have a different app for every control. So if you followed my reviews up till now, as far as controls that actually mount in a wall box, there have been 4. The first ones that I tested were by Mo's and Arhuang, and were basically the same controls. Then I tested the Treat Life, and then I tested the Lumary, and now this one. And the Lumary and the Treat Life are both 4-speed. This and the Mo's and Arhuang are 3-speed. I'm still not getting used to doing this live. Why is it throwing me off to do it live, Nia? I see you watching. No, it's not you. So for those who are just joining me, I'm trying to record some footage that I would use to for one of my ceiling fan control reviews on YouTube. But I figured that rather than just record it, I would go live because I keep getting asked to do ceiling fan content live. But for some reason, recording it live is throwing me off. So I don't know why, but there's no real harm to it. It's just something fun for us to do if anybody's actually up and watching. First of all, if anybody's out there watching, why don't you comment so that I know that you're there? I'm going to try again, though. We're going to try to start this over with. I'm going to get this, and then this will go on YouTube, and it'll be the best ceiling fan smart switch review ever. Hey, guys. So if you follow my reviews on YouTube, you know I've been covering a lot of ceiling fan smart controls, both remote receivers that mount in the fan canopy and wall switches that mount in an outlet box. Okay, we're going to start again because I just lost my train of thought just that quick. Hey, guys. For those of you who follow my reviews on YouTube, you know that I've been... Hey, guys. For those of you that follow my reviews... Well, I keep saying reviews. That's what... Even my wife has given up watching now. Well, it just says 0 viewers. That's why... I do like doing it here, though, because I can use the fancy stuff. Like, check that out. No, I actually just put it back up. Let me, you know what? Let me add a fancy thing as long as I'm here, as long as there's no pressure. Let's see. Check this out. Check that. See? Isn't that cool? Oh, okay. Yeah, I did the squirrely thing. So it'll be cool to be able to have that for my reviews as well. Let's go back to the comments. Okay, we're going to try this again. If anybody's actually watching from my ceiling fan networks, comment so that I know you're there. I'm just using this to record content for YouTube rather than just recording it on Windows Movie Maker with my webcam, which is what I would normally do. Check out my new merch shirt, too. I think the girls are right. It should be just a little higher. So... Hey guys, for those who follow my videos on YouTube, you probably know I review ceiling fan smart controls. We've got a new one today, popped up in my Amazon suggested, and I've been trying to cover all ceiling fan smart controls that fit the following criteria: under $50, no hub, and use the Smart Life app. I have tested a few that don't fit those criteria, but for the most part, that's what I'm looking for, and I'm trying not to miss any that fit those criteria. So if I have missed any, if there are any I haven't covered, post them in the comments or send me the link, and I'd love to check them out. So what we have today is, according to Amazon, it's the TRIFECTÉ Smart Ceiling Fan Control Switch. On the actual control, it says Carro. So let's go ahead and actually take a look at that. There's the Amazon page. Let's just see, can I change the... let's see, did that change? Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh? So you can see where it says TRIFECTÉ for the brand, and the actual control says Carro. So it's a 3-speed control that mounts in a single gang outlet box. It has a light control, but it's just on off. I thought it had a dimmer, it didn't. Most of the controls in this price point have a light dimmer. It uses capacitors for the speeds. There's a 5 microfarad for low and a second 5 microfarad for medium. So medium is technically 10. It's the two total together. After this footage, you'll see footage of me testing it with the ceiling fan in my upstairs bathroom. So if you followed my reviews up until now, some of the wall controls are 4-speed and some are 3-speed. Some are infinitely variable. Of the ones that have a finite number of speeds, most of them use capacitors. The Mohs and the Arhuang used what appeared to be little resistors, and they didn't really work, so I was able to desolder those and put in my own capacitor values. The TreatLife had 4 speeds and capacitor values that worked fairly well on most fans, but there was no easy way to replace them if those values didn't work. And then there was the Lumary control, which worked well and was at a good price point, but for some reason it didn't work on high speed, which is crazy because high speed is just a direct short. That's the one thing any control should be able to do. So in this case, as you'll see in my later footage, it works fine on all 3 speeds. Like the TreatLife control, you have to use the Alexa commands level 1, level 2, level 3. If you follow my reviews, you know I prefer to be able to use a percentage, 50%. So let's just for example, you see the fan behind me. Alexa, foyer fan 50%. Okay. So it's only 3 speeds. So 0 to 32 is low, 33 to 66 is medium, and 67 to 100 is high. So Alexa, foyer fan 10%. Okay. So I think so that's what I prefer, because that works regardless of the control. But this one and the TreatLife don't have that. You have to say level 1, level 2, level 3, which could get confusing because with the TreatLife, level 3 is medium, but with the TRIFECTÉ, level 3 is high. So that's why I like the percentages. It kind of evens it out throughout the different controls. I did not try replacing the capacitor values in this control, but it looked like they could have been unsoldered and replaced pretty easily. I could access them pretty easily to see the values. So the advantages to this control is that right now I think I'm trying to think if there's any advantage to this one versus the TreatLife. They're both in the same price point. TreatLife is 4-speed. TreatLife has a light dimmer. The only advantage that I can see of this one versus the TreatLife is that the treat life, there's no means to replace the capacitors. I mean, you could, but you'd have to unsolder dozens of tiny little solder joints to get to them. And this one, I could have replaced the capacitors just by unsoldering the capacitors. I mean, I had to take it apart and undo a few screws, but once I had it open, the capacitors were right there. So the only reason I can think of to buy this control instead of the treat life would be if you plan to replace the capacitors and you want a wall control that fits in the wall. Otherwise, if you want something to replace the capacitors but it doesn't need to fit in the wall, most of my house, including the one you saw behind me, is still the Kia chip remote, and that's easy to take apart and solder the capacitors in. And then you also have something, you've got a handheld remote. And the downside to that is, A, you don't have a wall control, and B, only 3 speeds, and C, no light dimmer. But again, with the TRIFECTÉ, it's still only 3 speeds, and there's no light dimmer. The other thing about it is I really like the wall interface. It's very straightforward. It's not like a touch panel. It's buttons. You can see, put that big on the screen. You can see the top button is for the light, the middle one is for the speeds, and the bottom one is for the fan off. So if you actually are going to be using it as a wall control as opposed to, using smart control, the interface is nice. Some of the ones that use where they're just sensing your fingertips get confusing to me. So those are the advantages, but the disadvantages are that it's one of the more expensive controls, which is probably why the touch panel is so nice. It's an actual nice physical switch. I mean, if you're willing to sacrifice that a little bit, you can spend half the price, and again, or you can spend slightly less and get 4 speeds and a light dimmer. So I'm probably not going to keep it. I'm probably going to, if I don't find a better option, I'm probably just going to get another treat life for my bathroom. So that's a great question. I keep getting asked what controls will work in different voltages. First of all, I'm going to go and look on the Amazon page right now. You might even be able to see me. So this says operating voltage 120. So that's not always, says the same thing there. Some of them state, oh, here we go. Somebody asks if it'll work for 240, and it says no. So this one definitely can't be used on 240. Some of them will state that they can be used anywhere from 100 to 250. But here's the problem with any fan control that is designed for use in the US than trying to use it on 240, is you have to remember that fans that operate on 240 are going to be looking for very different capacitor values for the speeds. So if you have a control that works well on a fan in the US and then you put it on 240, even if the control is designed for 240 and the fan is designed for 240, the speeds may not work well. So, and I have no way to test that because, I mean, I guess I theoretically could. I've got a couple of those 24-inch 240 fans, and I could theoretically rig up 240 with 2 different poles here, but it still wouldn't be a true test because this is 60 cycles and not 50, and those are 24-inch. It's just anyhow. So you're really, anybody looking for 240, first of all, you're going to have to find a control rated for 240. Second of all, you'll have to test it yourself. And then third of all, you may have to change the capacitor values. But great question. Just in case anybody missed it, there's the question. So for those who are viewing this not live, I'm going to throw up footage of me testing the control on the fan in my bathroom. For those who are viewing this live, you'll have to see that later on YouTube because, well, actually, maybe there is a way. Let me see. Sometimes, let's just try this. I don't think it's going to work, but it doesn't hurt to try. I'm uploading a video clip. Anybody have any other fan questions while it's uploading, while I'm trying that? It may work. Certainly can't hurt to try. So while I'm waiting for that, let's see if there's any other controls I haven't covered. So I did, and I can't remember if I've talked about this in a past video, I did get the latest version of the Sonoff iFan control, which is, by the way, unrelated to Apple. When you think of iFan iPhone, and unrelated to what collectors call the iFan, which is a fan from the 80s. There is an actual smart control called the Sonoff iFan. And I tested the first version, the iFan 2, I think it was, and then and wasn't really pleased with it. And so I tried again with the latest version, and I still wasn't pleased. I had trouble getting it to pair with the app. It doesn't use the Smart Life app. It just, yeah. I'm again when I need a wireless smart fan control. Where is it? Here it is. I stick with the good old-fashioned Kia chip. They might be cheap, but they work. And then when they don't work, I send them back to Amazon and get a new one. Can you see it? There we go. And yeah, I've got more of these in my house than anything. Oh, here's my wife being smart. So no, you cannot reverse any ceiling fan with an aftermarket smart control. If you have a smart ceiling fan where the smart electronics are built into the fan itself, you might have a reverse feature. But there's no aftermarket control that can reverse a fan because the reverse electronics have to be internal to the fan. Theoretically, there might be a way to do it with Bond. If you have a fan that already has a wireless remote that isn't smart, then you connect that with Bond. I was not able to do that when we used Bond to control the air shadow in our kitchen, which was reversible. But thank you, baby, for throwing out a great question that some people might be wondering. Let's see if that video thing has worked. It's still uploading. I'm going to give it a try. I'm going to wait and see if it finishes uploading. If I was smart, I would have tried to upload it before going live. But again, this is all something I'm trying for the first time. So who else is there besides my wife? I see that 3 people are watching, which is frankly a decent amount of people for ceiling fan content at 1 in the morning. Again, I'm just simply using this instead of recording on my computer. It's just something to try. Well, let's try something else while that video is uploading. I'm going to try. Let's see if I don't think it's working. I think my computer. I think this is too much for my. Well, let's try it. So let's go back to. Let's remove that. Share screen. Let's see if this works. No, I don't think that worked. If it did, it didn't appear to. Where's the video clip? Did that work? It's still loading. Okay, I think I've spent as much time trying that as I can. Maybe the next time I do this, I will prepare a video clip and we can see if we can get it to work that way. But it was not able to work spur of the moment. So again, thanks for hanging out with me as I review this fan switch. This is actually a review that will be edited and put on YouTube. So this was just literally a chance for me to put some ceiling fan content out there into the atmosphere while doing that. So once that video is up, watch it and like it and comment. so that more people see it. Again, if you're watching this because you actually care about smart switches, my current picks, if you need a one that goes into a wall box or has a dimmer switch or has 4 speeds, I go with the Treat Life. If you need one that fits in the fan canopy, or you don't need a dimmer switch or you don't need 4 speeds, I go with the Kia chip. So hopefully this was fun for you guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to use this footage and make the real video. Thanks for watching.